best friends and next door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian.
And
And
this is Maddie.
there we go. There we go. Yeah. Okay, we're figuring
Yeah,
it
high
out.
five. Okay, quick.
Yeah, we're good. So I'm just going to get right into it today because I don't have any strength in my body or mind. None at all.
Understandable. It's Thursday. Well, it's going to be Friday when this is coming out, and we probably should be psyched for the weekend.
I'm
But
not.
I'm spending my weekend sleeping.
I'm spending mine
That's all I'm
working,
doing.
just working my ass off. I'm recording a Patreon episode, which I just finished my notes for, and I'm gonna be doing a lot of writing. Anyway, no one cares. So today I'm gonna cover the murder of Dimebag Darrell, and if you're into heavy metal, you'll absolutely know who that is. If not, we'll hang around and you will know who it is, because I'm gonna tell you. So during the 90s, if you liked heavy metal, you absolutely knew who the wildly popular and critically acclaimed band Pantera was. The band was founded by brothers Dimebag Darrell, Abbott, and his brother Vinnie Paul. Darrell was the lead guitarist and an amazingly talented musician. Darrell was born on August 20th, 1966, in Ennis, Texas. His parents were Carolyn and Jerry Abbott. His older brother Vinny had been born in 1964 on March 11th, and they were inseparable. The deep bond would last the entirety of Darrell's life. Their father, Jerry, was a music producer and had extensive connections, and this was the springboard to their careers as the brothers showed interest in music early in their lives. Darrell fell in love with playing guitar, and Vinny played the drums, and their parents supported them every step of the way. And I always say, if you have a kid who's into anything, just pump them up. Always support your kid, even if you don't get it, like even if you don't understand personally. And it just like this whole starting, like Daryl's like start in music really reminds me of my oldest Will because they both like played obsessively and started around the same age. Anyway, the preteen brothers practiced every day for hours. They were inspired by guitarists like Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin and Eddie Van Halen. By age 14, Darrell was displaying real talent, and he had started to enter contests. And I didn't even know this was like a thing, like contests where you like just go play guitar up on a stage. But Will has won like a ton of these, and so did Darrell. He wasn't expected to win because he was going up against people twice his age, but he won them all. He won so many, he started getting barred from competing. Instead of like having him compete, they would have him help judge. And he's only 14, just a baby. When Vinny was in high school, he formed a band with classmates on the condition his younger brother Darrell could be in the band too. They were reluctant but agreed, and Pantera was formed. At first, Pantera was a glam metal band. So, Maddie,
Yes.
I don't know if you know what glam metal is, so I'm asking.
My best estimation, and I'm just gonna like kiss,
Yes, for
right?
sure. Kiss for sure. Yeah.
Then yes, I know what glam metal is.
And then you had immediately after glam metal, you had hair metal in the 80s. So bands like Motley Crue, Poison, stuff like that.
Yes. I had a mother that was born in 77, so I basically have all of her music taste, but all of the attitude of Gen Z, which is a strange combination, but I listen to mostly rock.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I was born in 1979. And I ever like hair metal? No. I thought the boys were pretty, with their pretty long hairs. So
I
this is the
do actually.
yeah.
I do think they're pretty.
Oh, they're so pretty. Fuck off. I like the prettiest. They look with their little lip gloss and their eyeliner. Come on now. Their little hoochie daddy shorts. You know I love it. So this is the
hmm
80s where bands like Poison and Motley Crue at the top of the charts. So this is the music that they wanted to make. Jerry, their father, became the band's manager, and they released their first album, Metal Magic, in 1983. Darrell was only 16 years old. The album had a lukewarm reception, as well as their following album the next year, but things were about to change entirely in 1984. 1984 was the year Metallica released their famous breakout album, Ride the Lightning. And it was an instant hit, and it changed heavy metal forever. Glam rock was dead. And I'll talk about Metallica for just a fucking second. Because nowadays you hear Metallica and you sort of make a face, like, oh, they're kind of lame now, right? But man, back in the late, in the 80s and early 90s, Metallica was a fucking shit. Master of Puppets, such a good song. And it was just like nothing like that had ever been out before, like so hard and so aggressive. And it really, man, it just, I don't know, it made parents upset, which, as a teenager, that's fun. And I really liked Metallica when they first came out. Vinny and Daryl were inspired by this, and they made their sound heavier and more aggressive. They coupled this with the slower melodies of the 70s rock genre and released their next album, I Am the Night, in 1985. Their singer, however, didn't like the direction the band was going and left in 1985. It would be a full year before he was replaced by Phil Anselmo. In 1988, they released the album Power Metal, and this would be the last album with that kind of hair metal, glam metal vibes. They decided to lean into their thrash metal harder, and this decision would catapult them to stardom. Jerry stepped down as Pantera's manager because he didn't understand thrash metal, and he wanted his kids to have a manager who understood the genre they were playing better, to better represent them. And I
Which is
think
actually like really respectable. Yeah.
amazing, right?
Yeah, that's a good
Considering,
dad. I gotta admit it.
oh, yeah, definitely. Their new manager was Walter O'Brien, and he spent the first few months getting them a record label, which proved very difficult. And then they released their next album, Cowboys from Hell, in 1990, and it was an immediate smash hit. They changed their look from they were wearing like crop tops and like glittery makeup and shit. And they went
No, as
all,
they should.
yes. And then they were they had long hair, but not in the Farrah Fawcett, layered shag, but it was like all long. And they're wearing like leather jackets, t shirts, ripped up jeans, and Converse. So,
I love
they,
it.
oh, me too.
Cunt. Serving.
They were serving cunt and the glam metal as they kind of look like a biker gang, honestly. I thought so. It is
They
still,
need,
go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry.
No,
I
keep
was
going.
about to say they need to have them bedazzled. I feel like they need
Oh
bedazzled
shit. I
jeans.
had a
Or like,
bedazzler
did
when
you
I was
actually?
12. Fuck yeah, I did. I had jeans that
I
had fuck you on the pocket and rhinestones, and I felt like fucking Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton would never.
She would
She
never.
never
She
swears.
don't do a swear, but I
No.
do. I like to do a swear. So they even Daryl himself basically made a new genre of music. He was really any guitarist on earth. I don't care what they say, loves playing the blues. They just love playing the blues, improvising the blues at like 2 a.m. when you told him to go to bed and stop making a bunch of fucking noise. All of them. And so he kind of added this kind of groovy, bluesy sound to his thrash metal, and it became groove metal. Like he made a whole new genre of music, which I think is amazing. Pantera went on to tour on a 2 year tour and didn't really stop until the band broke up, basically. Daryl often had his long term girlfriend with him, Rita Haney. She was with him up until his death, and they'd been together since 1984. And I think that's cute. You don't see that a lot in the music industry. Daryl was said to have never let his success go to his head and remained a humble, down to earth guy. And he was always not only kind to his fans, but he made time for them. He genuinely enjoyed playing for people. Touring, though, meant partying hard, and Daryl was a drinker. He even had a drink he invented called the Black Tooth Grin, which was Crown Royal, Seagram 7, and a little splash of Coke. So just fucking whiskey is what it was. Ouch.
I can't make any comment because I'm new to alcohol, but that does make my stomach turn a little bit with that
It makes my
description.
tummy wet. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Mm-mm.
So I'm going to help you out. We're going to take a brief pause. Dimebag wouldn't mind me doing so. I'm just helping the youth of today. If you are a newly 21 person and you want to try some alcohol, I'm going to tell you some not to try. Okay? Jägermeister, don't do this to yourself. Why would you do this to yourself? Don't. It's gross. Tastes bad. Fucks you up. It's an evil beverage. It's evil. And you will puke. And it's just going to be rough. It's just tastes like black licorice that's mad at you.
What does that mean?
It just feels like a fist of black licorice repeatedly is punching you in the mouth. It's not good.
Oh man.
Blech.
Patreon episode idea though. We start talking about serial killers while I try all of these alcohols
Okay.
that you say absolutely no
Well, I don't
to.
want to give you alcohol poisoning.
It won't.
Just why
It
would I do
might.
that to you? It's so fucked up. One time I was like
Okay, keep
22.
going.
I was 22 years old. I was given something called a
Hmm.
screaming Nazi, and it's Jägermeister and Rumpelminz. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Oh, I've
Mm-mm.
actually had Rumpelmans.
Yucky poo
That
poo.
shit is that should be illegal because it doesn't taste like alcohol to me.
It
I
tastes like
had
fucked up
two shots in a
mouthwash.
row and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever had. When it gets to your tummy, it hurts, but
Oh, it
like going
hurts.
down, it's so fire.
It's yummy.
It's so good.
and then you
It's like
think just
liquid candy cane. It's addicting. I feel like a
ugh.
slutty little elf a little bit.
Yeah, okay, I could see that. The Christmas elf, not like tall, sexy elves.
I mean, I don't
Christmas elf.
know, might be Legolas. You never, I don't want to, I wouldn't put it past him,
Really?
you
Yeah, he's kind
know?
of a himbo. I can see it. He puts out
Yeah.
for dwarves. You know he does. He just gets passed around like Moria, like
He's
the village
he's
bicycle.
the I was about to say camp bicycle, the party bicycle.
Everybody gets a ride. What do his elf eyes see?
Yeah.
Dick. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wow, we cannot stay on track.
Oh no, we don't have to because this is my podcast.
Yay.
Yay!
I love not being paid by a larger entity, even though I'd like the money.
I'll sell out in 2 seconds. So if you're
Creative
listening, I'll say whatever you want me to say. I will choke on corporate dick.
for
Uh-huh.
$100, 10 seconds, I will say anything you want in those 10 seconds.
My legs is spread. I'm a hoe. I'll take it. Let's go, baby. I'm selling out. Anyway,
You know, actually, I was about to say one last thing.
go ahead.
The coolest dad I ever met always said that Metallica at the beginning was really rad,
Fuck
but
yeah.
the reason they suck now is because they sold out.
Sure.
And I don't know enough about Metallica to say if that's true, but I
Get your
know that.
bread. Get your bread. I can't
I've
say
heard that.
nothing.
That's something I can say I've heard.
I think the reason everybody kind of hates on Metallica is the whole Napster issue. I don't know if you remember this. No, you were in it. You were a
I was
zygote.
I wasn't alive, I don't think.
Okay. In the early 2000s, Napster came out as a music hosting program videos to, and you just a torrent site and you downloaded it for free, and it took 6 hours for one song, but whatever, it was free. Anyway, Metallica sued Napster and pissed everyone off. Like, calm your tits, you're already rich. Like, shut up. It ruined their
Mm,
career. Ruined it. I mean, they're still millionaires, but it ruined it.
yeah, that sounds that's a you know what? We really need to be like bringing that back for more things.
Oh yeah,
Like Twitter. I wish we could have done that with Twitter.
Twitter's dead now.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Twitter.
So, back to the episode. The partying and constant touring started to wear on the band. When touring resumed in 1995, lead singer Phil was distant and avoided the group outside of performing. Phil had injured his back in 1994 and had started to self medicate with heroin, like you do. And by 1995, he was in full blown addiction. Phil overdosed in 1996, and this revealed the addiction to the band. They literally had no idea because he was compartmentalizing it so much. And this really embarrassed Darrell and Vinny. And though they completed tours all through the 90s, things were just unraveling. In addition, Phil was known for doing Nazi shit at shows. Like he would do the salute, he'd holler white power, and the rest of the band fucking hated this shit. They hated it. They didn't want the controversy. They didn't believe in that nonsense. They just wanted to play some fucking metal and have a good time. And he was ruining it. Phil was doing a lot of side projects too, and it was clear that the band was on thin ice. They continued to tour until the band broke up in 2003. This absolutely devastated Darrell. He felt blindsided, and he also, the friendship with Phil, it was just not repairable. He's doing Nazi shit, he's on heroin, and he's just being kind of a cunt all around, and Darrell was just heartbroken. Vinny and Darrell went on to form a new band instead of just getting a new singer because basically, like, the brand Pantera belonged to all the members, and they knew they would have to go into like a deep legal bunch of bullshit with Phil in order to be able to use the name they came up with. And so they just decided to start a new band, and it was called Damage Plan. And they released an album in 2004, which did not do well. But Darrell did not give a shit. Darrell just wanted to play music again. Darrell just wanted to get up on stage. He wanted to perform for the fans. And so they started touring. But now, despite the fame they had in the past, they were getting just these little rinky dink venues. Darrell was fucking pleased. He was so happy. He was just happy to be doing what he loved. And this would end up killing him. Nathan Gale from Ohio was a troubled and mentally ill man. He had been nicknamed Crazy Nate by his friends. Nathan got into Pantera when his friend gave him their album Vulgar Display of Power in high school. He listened to it over and over and over again. For 2 years, it was all he listened to. And like, I get that. I autistically listen to songs over and over, but I can't imagine listening to just one album for 2 years. That seems crazy to me. I can't imagine it.
Yeah. No thanks. I don't think I could do that.
No.
There is not a single album that I can think of, unless it was like my own playlist, but that would have at
Various,
least 300.
yes.
Yeah, that'd be so many different things that it wouldn't be. Yeah.
No, I couldn't cope. I'd go nuts.
Mm-mm.
So he even started writing his own music inspired by the band, and he wanted to show his friends, like he'd written all these lyrics and stuff, but he could never get up the courage to sing it. Never. So that went nowhere. He became obsessed with Pantera itself. He told people that he was friends with the band, and they were coming to play a special show for his friend's birthday. And he knew this because he believed he found hidden messages in the CD sleeve. Now, back in the day, like CDs came in a little plastic square case, and like the lyrics and all the like bullshit and album art was all tucked into the plastic sleeve. And he
I
thought,
do know what CDs are. I've been there.
we have younger listeners than you, so I always try and
Really?
explain things that aren't around anymore, you know?
Oh man, I didn't know that kids are on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
That's
Our
crazy.
demographics are like age 14 to like 35 is our highest demographics, which is just all over the place. But, yeah,
Huh.
a wide appeal. I've always said children do not listen to me, but they don't listen to me. Haha. So, yeah, he clearly Nathan's really mentally ill here. He's seeing hidden messages in like the lyrics and stuff like that. Nathan's delusions got worse. He thought the band was stealing his ideas and lyrics, and that they were also stealing his identity. After high school, he joined the Marines, but was discharged a year later following a schizophrenia diagnosis. He was medicated, he moved back home with his mother, and he got a job as a mechanic. And while he was a little more stable, he was still very obviously obsessed with Pantera. By 2004, Nate was isolated. He moved into an apartment. He kind of quit seeing his friends. He was clearly trying to hide that his mental health was deteriorating. He had gone off his meds and he was becoming very unstable. He would rock back and forth and talk to an imaginary dog all the time. He believed he had written the lyrics on Vulgar Display of Power, and he believed Pantera thus owed him money. His friends thought he was harmless because he'd never been violent, but he was saying a lot of violent rhetoric. And on December 8th, 2004, Damage Plan was playing Alrosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. It was a small venue. Nathan Gale was waiting outside to catch Darrell as he got off the tour bus, and he was armed with a handgun. He was going to ask for an autograph, just like Mark David Chapman, who had killed John Lennon on that day 30 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't find the catcher in the rye on him. My God. But that was Chapman's thing. The band, though, was already inside the venue, and he was too late. 3 months prior to this, Nathan had rushed the stage at a Damage Plan show, but was caught by security and escorted out. It's just really eerie to me. Nathan entered the venue, and as the band started to play their first song, he rushed the stage. He shot Darrell multiple times. When head of security Jeffrey Mayhem Thompson tried to tackle Nathan, he was fatally shot. A fan came on stage and attempted to help Darrell, like give him CPR, but he was shot too. His name was Nathan Bray. Eric Hulk, an employee of the venue, was shot and killed while trying to disarm Nathan while he was reloading. And then several more people were injured. Nathan Gale was shot to death by police officer James Nigmeyer, and that was it. That was it for him. And he was born in 1979. I'm not sure how old he would have been in 2004 because math and my head hurts. I think he'd be
that's the
like,
year you were born.
yeah, but I'm like, how old was that in 2004? I was like 25. So he's going to be around 25. There we go.
I was I was 0, or I was like just born. So, yeah, I was there. Not like in the
Spirit,
room, but like
you were
I was
there in
in
the
the
room.
world.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's wild because like when you say 2004 to me, I'm just like, oh, yesterday. Yes. And then I do the math and I'm like, nope,
And
old. I'm old now.
no,
God help
I'm
me.
like a whole adult. That's crazy, right? Because
I'm a
I
middle
hear
aged woman.
2004 and I'm like, that's me. That
I'm in
can't be very old.
I'm in perimenopause for fuck's sake. Don't recommend. This is bullshit. Anyway, so Daryl's this is so sad, and I'm just gonna trying to cry. Daryl's last words as he lay dying were to his beloved older brother, Vinny. His last words were Van Halen. They said Van Halen to each other as a code word, as kind of like, get ready, we're about to have some fun, like, we're gonna rock out, we're excited. And I just think that's I don't know. It's bittersweet. It's really sad.
That's kind of like disgustingly sad.
Oh, it just kills me. Just kills me.
yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
kind of
Misty. A little misty.
crunching up a little bit, if you know what I
I
mean.
do. And this
Hmm.
makes it worse. So Daryl was buried with one of Eddie Van Halen's guitars because he had been so inspired by him. A few weeks prior to his death, Daryl had met with Eddie Van Halen and asked him for a replica of the Bumblebee. That's like a special guitar that he had. And Van Halen said at his
Right.
funeral, Dime was an original, and only an original deserves the original. So he buried him with his actual guitar. He was only 38 years
Oh my
old.
God, that's such a baller move.
I know. Kiss, the band, provided Kiss casket for him. He was buried next to his
Oh,
mama. And Vinny
that's
died
so sweet.
in 2018, and he was buried next to his brother in a Kiss casket as well. Man,
Rest in peace.
yeah, he was a legend. Like I fucking loved Pantera in high school. It was just so fucking cool. I loved it. MTV back when it used to play music had a whole segment like late at night for metal, and so I would always stay up
Hmm.
and watch that. It was very exciting because y'all are used to heavy metal now, but man, when I was a kid, that shit was new. That was new and it was so exciting. Just like with Nirvana, like when Nirvana came out and then there was grunge, that was so exciting. And I don't know, Pantera had a lot to do with it. I don't hear them talked about a lot. I'm gonna guess part of that is like Phil's like white supremacist bullshit. Because I mean, he's still going on about it today, still, and it's just such a shame because it kind of like there was a whole stigma to heavy metal music for a while that it was about white supremacy, and it's just really not. And I blame Phil entirely for that, honestly.
Just the whole thing on him.
Yeah, yeah. He
All
started
right.
it. He
I mean,
started it.
I hear that that is an old stereotype, but I've never known like metal enthusiasts to be anything but like perfect gentlemen most of the time.
Right?
Like when I meet guys, because it's usually women actually that listen to that kind of music that I've met personally.
Yeah, I love heavy metal. I listen to symphonic metal these days, like a lot of Nightwish and like Within Temptation, Unsun, Serenia, stuff like that. But I still like heavy metal from time to time. Big fan of industrial, like Nine Inch Nails and Front 242. Yeah, that's the episode, and it was sad.
Wow.
But you know
That
what's not sad? Hmm? Can you
business
guess?
time?
You're right. It's not sad at all.
Oh my God, business time! Money!
Capitalism. Look,
Capitalism time.
you can go on to Patreon right now, or you can email me, and it's just my first and last name at iCloud.com. I'll try and remember to put it in the description. Excuse me. And you can get a custom episode. You can have me and Maddie do it. You can have me and Maris do it. You can have just me do it. You can have just Maddie do it. I don't care. And for
It could
20
just be me.
bucks, we can do a whole hour episode, 30 minutes to an hour, just for you on whatever you want me to do. I'll do it.
Yeah. And that's such a little amount of money that goes such a far way for our channel
Yes, it
or,
does.
well, podcast channel. I
Whatever.
don't
Channel.
care.
Well, we're a channel on YouTube, so I mean that counts.
Yeah, we're a channel on YouTube. We also have Spotify. We have a bunch of different things you can listen to us on. I don't know what you're listening to us on. Could be anything.
Audible, Buzzsprout, Apple, a Google Podcast went away, but we were on there.
Did it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that it existed.
See, that's why it went away.
See, even learning about new ones.
So, yeah, and you could join our Patreon over 700 hours of content. I will be recording an episode. I'm going to super try either Friday, which is tomorrow, or Saturday. I'm going on like almost 48 hours of no sleep, and I don't feel good. I need to lay down. So, I'm getting to it as soon as I can. And it's a good one. It's such a weird episode. It's just weird. It's a weird case, but I think you guys will be interested. It involves business, meth, and head in a bucket. So there's
Oh, are
that.
you talking about the Wolf on Wall Street,
No,
like original story?
no.
If you haven't already covered that, I might do that because that's so fun. That's such a fun thing to talk about.
All right, you can do whatever you
Um,
want.
but but me personally, I'm also planning on doing a new kind of Patreon content soon. We'll be revealing more about that probably next week, but I'm
Yeah,
drafting these like new episodes soon, and I hope that it goes off well. We'll see.
we'll see. I think it'll be fun. I You told me about it, and I thought the idea was really interesting. I thought it was interesting and very cute, and I think
Thank you.
it'll be fun. Otherwise, join our Discord. We're always in there, ready to say hello. I'm
Yeah,
in
we
there
can
the
talk about
most.
cases. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Lilith
in there the
is.
most.
Um, we can talk about cases. You can suggest cases. We don't always take suggestions, but if you have a
I do
suggestion, please put
frequently.
them there. Yeah, we do.
Hmm.
And just
And
not everyone, I don't think, because some of them we've either already covered
yes, that happens a
or there's
lot.
just not like enough information for that case.
Yeah, I run into that. A lot of people think, okay, I want to get this cleared just so everyone knows that I have some special researching tools. No, I have the internet and a library and books and other podcasts, and that's what I use primarily for research.
And
Uh,
documentaries. Those are
oh
also
yeah,
helpful
I watch
sometimes.
documentaries, listen to podcasts. I typically read a book I haven't for this month, but I usually read books when I can. I feel like it gives me a better overall case view, and I just like reading. So, but yeah, I don't have any special software. I can't do background checks. I'm not a private detective. I'm a nobody from Arkansas who doesn't know anything. So that's all I got. Otherwise, merch. Y'all bought some merch yesterday. Thank you very much. The
Wow, somebody bought merch? Merch.
Don't
Yay!
act like you're surprised. It happens all the
I
time.
I have no idea. I don't have access to those accounts. So when Lilith or when Lillian is telling you guys, she's telling me for the first time too. I don't have
Yeah.
any of that information.
Yeah, I think we sold a tote bag and a mug. So thank you
Wow.
whomstever bought that. That's nice. And that's
Yay.
yay. So yeah, buy some merch. Getting ready to be spring. You need yourself one of them insulated cups because it does good for hot or cold. I still have mine. I've had it for like 3.5 years. It's in perfect condition. So yeah, get you a t-shirt, get you a mug, do what
And we
do
will
it.
be having new merch rolling out soon. We are
I'm
still
so
finalizing those
excited.
designs. We're so excited.
We are. Me in particular. I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get them and wear them. Anyway, that's all I have fucking the stomach for. I'm sleepy and I don't think I have anything left. Oh, if you're on YouTube, do all the YouTube stuff. Comment like dime bag or something. I don't know. I like to pick a word.
Well, yeah, Dimebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody needs to be talking about Dimebag.
Bless. Poor guy. He just loved the music. Reminds me of my oldest producer, Will. So
Hi, Will. Shout out to Will.
always shout out to Will, who
Oh, and
is
shout out to Jessica, my mom, because she's been listening to the podcast
hi
recently.
Maddie's
And
mom.
also and also shout out to all Jessicas because that's a really fucking common name
It is. I was
according to
almost
everything
named
I've ever
Jessica.
heard.
I was almost named Jessica, but no. Jessica was a character in one of my favorite book series when I was a little girl. That was Sweet Valley High. Jessica was the cheerleader, like super sexy twin, whatever. Anyway, I'm babbling
Mm.
now. I love you guys uncomfortably, parasocially, and please don't like murder me over it. That would suck so much because then I can't eat spaghetti. That's sad.
And I've said this before, but I'm actually kind of vaguely okay with getting murdered for fame. So
I mean, hey,
we'll
it would
see how
help
that
the
goes.
podcast if you want to be true
It
crimed. That's up
would,
to
and then
you.
you could cover it and like don't worry, I'll make sure that I record like a special note before my death so that you can play it on the podcast
Oh,
and
make it
it'll
sad,
be like your yeah, it'll be like your exclusive on it. Yeah.
man.
And then because you have the copyright at that point, you can sue anybody else who uses it.
I'll just copyright strike claim them on YouTube. Um,
Yeah.
man, I do know this from experience now. When you have a friend who is murdered, you absolutely cannot do a podcast episode on it. My friend was murdered in February, and nope, not touching it. Can't. We'll just throw up and cry.
That's actually understandable. I'm so sorry. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I did too until
I
I was
mean,
joking, and then I was like, oh no, I'm clowning myself. It
that's how I
happens.
feel every time I start talking about the fact that I want to kill myself and then I remember that my best friend did. And I was like, ah, oof.
Yeah, oof.
Mm,
Mm, yeah. But we're mentally all okay today, folks. So do not be concerned. It is all right. But we
yep.
will. Oh, Maddie, you can say goodbye. I will allow it.
Oh, I guess I'm saying goodbye.
Yeah, say it.
Like we said, please check out all of our business stuff. And if you like us, let us know. Please join the Discord and bye. Bye bye.
Bye. Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Willie B.